Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you all so much for joining, Damon Jordan. And today, let me have my friend Damon tell you what we're doing for this whole session.
Hey guys, I'm Damon Wylde, and if you're on this webinar, you're about to find out the 5 real laws of getting rich. And we're gonna do this while exposing all of the myths, all the lies that you've been force fed about what it takes to make money. And we're going to basically show you how to become successful in the fastest amount of time, the real way. And so if you don't know who I am, I'm Damon Wylde. I'm the youngest paid energy expert for some of the biggest entrepreneurs on the planet. This is my friend Jordan. Jordan, you can tell them what you're an expert in.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Jordan Suber. I've been doing digital marketing for about 7 years now. I've helped some of the biggest clients around the world as well go from obscurity all the way to authority, or putting their brands to the spotlight. I'm also a 2 times published author and reached over 500,000 people last year alone without ads.
That sounds pretty
And
valuable.
thank you. And like he was saying, the 5 biggest myths you probably heard of before, making money is hard, or being entrepreneur is just a fad, it's hard to do. All you gotta do is cold call down people or put in the hours to become successful. Unfortunately, we probably all tried that and learned that's not the case. So Dave and I are here today, we're gonna break down the 5 laws you really need to use to separate yourself from the pack and be successful in any industry you want to be in.
Well said. Yeah, I think if you're like me, a lot of people starting out, we were told a lot of things about what it takes to make money that are very vague. Sometimes they have some truth to it, but people, they're still left up to interpretation that you can take it the wrong way, and it causes a lot of people to really get slowed down on their paths. And I'm here to help you really speed up the process and get those goals a lot faster by understanding where these truths come in and really how to apply them to your life.
Most definitely. And I think the biggest thing about that is too, success leaves clues. And Dave and I have already been there, learned from other people as well, and done it ourselves. So a lot of people you say will tell you some vague obscurity things. For us, we're gonna break down what we actually do every single day. So there's no more guesswork for you to do it. And Damon, how do you start off with law number 1? What is our first law they have been hearing?
So before I give you guys the first law, I want to tell you the first lie that I want you guys to avoid, okay? That lie is the idea, and really you're never going to hear this from very successful people. You're only going to hear this from people that are not successful. And that's why you really got to avoid this, because most people are not successful. And those are probably the people you have around you right now. It's the idea that money is hard to make. Money is difficult, and therefore you got to chase money. You got to go get money, right? That's the big lie. It's like you gotta go become successful. You gotta get money, and we hear all these statistics like 9 out of 10 businesses fail. It's risky. Like constantly, it's kind of been hammered into us this idea that money is difficult and that making it is something that only certain kinds of people can do, and that is a mistake. And I want to fix that mindset.
Most definitely. It's definitely one of the biggest lies we all hear. And this law is going to blow you all away.
So here's the first law of success. And we're going over the laws because really, if you want to have a strong business or you want to have a strong idea of success, you got to have a strong foundation first, right? Anybody that's played the game Jenga did you ever play Jenga, Jordan?
I have played Jenga. And it's a good metaphor for it, analogy for it too.
Yeah. If you don't have enough blocks at the bottom, it's gonna topple over no matter how high you stack it up. So here's a foundational law of success that I want you guys to understand. Money is in abundance. All right, like literally, if you look into it, you'll see like more money is being produced every year. Okay, it's literally paper that comes out of machines. It is in abundance. There's no limit to it. There's money all around you right now. Money is everywhere. It's not only easy to make, but it's going to become easier for you the more you begin to attract money rather than chase money. We can get into that, but Jordan, what kind of thoughts do you have about that?
I cannot agree with you more. Money is literally a mindset. If you think it's there, you'll see more of it. It's like if you got a brand new car, a Dodge Charger or something, you will start seeing Dodge Chargers everywhere because in abundance now. And money the same way, it's about opportunities. who do you know that needs help? Or who do you know that has money that you can give them value and have an exchange of energy for that? So obviously we're paid on equal proportions on the value we give to other people and to the world at large.
You're totally right. Yeah, money is a mindset, and it's a form of energy of its own, right? Money has a frequency, a vibration to it in a way, and if the more aligned you can become with that, the more you're going to attract money. If you're out of alignment with that, then it's going to be incredibly difficult for you to make money because you don't understand principles of attracting money, right? And the thing about when you chase money, you're completely out of alignment with what money wants. That's not a frequency that attracts money. And to give you guys an example, what happens when you chase something? Or Jordan, what happens when you chase something?
You never get it. It always runs away from you and faster.
Yeah. If you chase something, naturally you're implying that that thing is running away from you. Otherwise, why would you have to chase it? Or you mentioned the mindset. If you're in a mindset of like, I'm chasing the money, right? I'm chasing the paper trail. Like that mindset alone is you being like, well, money's running away from me. I have to catch it, right? And if you believe that money's running from you, it's going to be harder for you to make money. Money wants you to seduce it. It wants to be wooed, just like anything in life. Just like when it comes to dating or relationships, if you're familiar with like dating and how to attract. If you're a guy and you want to attract a girl, you're not going to get that girl by chasing her. You're going to get her by being the kind of person that makes her attracted to you.
Yep, yeah, have that be a value, And this also has segues to our next law we'll get to in 1 minute. But he's saying, if you're chasing that money and chasing what you want, you're pretty much telling the universe that you don't have it yet and it has to be some outreach thing from you. It's about mindset. Once you already decide that everything you want is with you and you have abundance, that's when it starts chasing you. It's all about, being the embodiment of actually having all the abundance in life and knowing right now everything I need is already here. And I couldn't really stress even more about, once you have that flip of the switch of how many is easy to get to hard to get, it literally overflows to you. Like right now, I'm closing deals like every single day and getting more and more commissions from my marketing business. And not that long ago, I was literally chasing it every single day, doing 100 cold calls and 1,000 cold emails. And now I literally have people knocking my front door or calling me, asking me to give them work and help them grow their business. And all that mindset switch.
Yeah, 100%. Back if you for a while when I was younger, I studied dating, and girls are attracted to a guy that has other girls already has other options, right? The same way, and I really applied this to business. You're gonna notice this when it comes to making money too. When you're completely broke, when you have nothing to your name, you're gonna find it's incredibly hard to make any money at all. But once you make that first sale or those first couple sales, and a little bit of money starts to trickle in, all of a sudden the floodgates open, and it's like the little money that you have, it just attracts more money, and that attracts even more money, and it's a compound effect. It's really, really interesting the way this stuff works. But if you can use this to your advantage, you're going to be on the right path for sure.
Yeah, definitely capitalize on that.
Yeah. And so me and Jordan, we love to give practical action steps for every kind of piece of advice that we give out there. I know a lot of coaches online will tell you stuff like this and then, leave you kind of feeling confused about how you can go and apply this. I want to give you a way that you can start, training this mindset right away. If you're an action taker, right? If you're someone that's really committed to your own success, you'll do these actions and you're going to notice the shifts that it makes in your life. So Jordan, if it's cool with you, I want to share with them something they can do right now to train that muscle of abundance when it comes to money.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm all about, like he said, providing value as fast as possible. Like in this phone call, in this webinar, you already know what you need to do to make it happen. And to start off, like the first thing you can do is go to Craigslist and Zillow or anywhere where the jobs are posting at, and just look at all the opportunities. You see so many people posting about, I need a new marketer for my real estate business, or I need a new person for my painting company, or so forth. You'll find so many connections on all different platforms, even Facebook groups. And literally, see how much money is being talked about every single day. And if you want to take the next action step, is to reach out to them and offer your services to them. That's one of the fastest ways to see that money is abundance. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone has it. And if you don't have it, someone does and want to give it to you. They just gotta know you first.
I love that. I love that. This is something that I learned from one of my mentors, and it works really, really well. It's called the money game. If assuming you have anything in your bank at all, right, you want to take out as much money as that you can withdraw, right, in one day. You want to withdraw literally as much as you can, and you're gonna play the money game, okay? And this was told to me by someone who is on his way to making his first $1 million, and very smart dude. And basically the whole concept here is that you want to not only get comfortable having an abundance of money around you and know what that feels like, but as we're going to talk about in Law 2, becoming somebody with a lot of money and understanding what it's like to be that person and starting to live through that. You're going to take all that money out and you're going to just do cool stuff with that money. You can take a money bath, right, where you just throw it around, or you can maybe stick it to your clothes, take some pictures with it, flex a little bit, like do whatever you want with it, whatever makes you feel good, but just for the point of having fun with it, just being playful with that money. Another thing you can do, let's say you don't have a lot of money, just take out. I want you to take a $10 bill or a $20 bill, whatever you feel comfortable with. I want you to rip it in half, right? And now you're thinking like, Damon, why would I rip up a perfectly good $20 bill? Because that you're not gonna you're probably not gonna not be able to pay your bills. You're probably not gonna be able to. You're probably not gonna miss any bill payments or miss your rent because of $20. So it's not threatening. But what this is gonna do is it's gonna train that mindset, because everything is a muscle, right? You got to build it as a muscle. It's gonna train that muscle of abundance. The way that you look at money is really, this is just a piece of paper, right? You're ripping up a piece of paper and you're like, whatever, it was $20. It's just a piece of paper that says a number on it. It's not a big deal. That $20 that you ripped up, you can make it back just as easily, right? So the powerful effect that that's going to have on you, ripping up that $20, is going to be worth way more than that $20 was.
Oh yeah,
it really is. It's gonna be 10 times the value.
That is super spot on, Damon. I could not agree with you more. Once you start doing that kind of thing, like the money game and look at money, you realize that it is not hard to find. Getting more is super easy. And that bonus tip and bonus law even they're going to tell you about, if you read the book The Richest Man in Babylon, is save 10% of everything you earn. If you earn money daily or weekly or monthly, put away 10%. Pay yourself first. But don't touch it. Just put it in a little safe part. Figure all about it. And I promise you, like you were saying, you won't even remember you took it out, and it won't affect you anyway. You spend the same way. You still pay your bills, still buy food, and still have fun, and still pay your rent. And by the end of the year, all that savings you did from 10%, it will add up to so much. You make huge investments with that money.
Yeah. So what do you think? Should we move on to Law 2?
Yeah, let's do Law 2. I think you're all ready for it now.
All right, let's get it. So here's the second big lie. Success is an outcome. What do you think about that?
I cannot agree how big of a lie that really is. Because it's not really an outcome, it's a process. Like, you're always in success mode. If you, your whole life can change in a blink of an eye. Like, it's not an outcome. It happens right now once you're in the moment actually think you're all successful.
Yeah. So law number 2, success is not an outcome. Success is a person. That's how I look at it. You can say success is a mindset. Success is a behavior, whatever. Success is a person to me, because you don't become successful. You don't become somebody who has success once you've reached a certain amount of money or whatever. It's like you said, it's a process. Earl Nightingale, one of the fathers of personal development, once said that anytime where you're working towards, you're making progress towards a worthy ideal, then you are successful, right? If you're making progress towards a worthy ideal, then you're successful. So if you have it set in your mind that you're going to make a certain amount of money, or you're going to accomplish some goal, and you're actually working towards that and you're getting closer, you're already successful. You're a successful person. You don't become successful. You simply are a successful person, or excuse me, you don't get success, but you become a successful person, right?
Yeah.
However you want to look at that. It's something that you are. It's something that you embody first. Right? You have to embody it first before you can actually get success.
Yeah, without a doubt. I love what you were saying. That's so true. Because like, think about it, all the ultra successful people in the world, if they lost everything, they're so successful, and they'll get it back even faster. It's all
Right.
about who you are as a person. I know people out there who have millions of followers, tons of money, and they're not really that successful. They're just like still complacent. But I also know people who have no followers, no money, making huge waves around everything, or super successful in their own right. It all
Right.
depends on who you are as a person and what kind of success that you want. And it comes down to like asking yourself, what does success mean to you? And it's aim for that every single time.
I like that. I like that. That's something that you can put into practical use. Is just, or just think about who's like the ideal version of you. If you were to think about who, if everything were to go your way, and you know you did everything you're supposed to do, maybe 5 to 10 years from now, what is the version of you that you would like to be? How does that person feel? How does that person think and act and behave? What kind of decisions do they make? And just be that person now. Be like as much as you can, as many moments as you can throughout the day. Embody that now. Like you have to start there. And I'm taking this from Sam Ovens, who, you know, the way he puts it is like, you can't become successful. Like you can't get what you want until you've already become the kind of person that deserves that thing. If you're not already that person that deserves the money that you want, you're not going to make it. There's nothing that you can do to make it. You have to have already evolved into that version of yourself first. So that's why we say you don't get success, you become it, you live it. And that's when it starts to come to you.
It's your identity. Your identity is success.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like even like dating wise, you know, going back to that analogy, it's like if you want somebody who's the best girl ever and she's awesome, but you're lacking in your own skills and your own value, you want to attract the same kind of girls as you. You won't find that queen you're looking for until you're the king that you want to be. And success is the same exact way. You don't want to attract good paying clients and good amounts of recognition if you're thinking as yourself as not successful or not on that value placement. So definitely, like you said, embody that successful mindset, successful person, and it takes steps every single day. Another practical tip I can give you is, you know, if you become 1% better every single day, by the end of the year, we're 365% better, but it also compounds, so it's even more. And that's like the best way to become successful, is to track what you're doing every single day to see how far you're coming.
I don't know if you guys caught that, but Jordan literally just gave you guys a practical step for you guys to start becoming more successful right now, so you can track what you want. Right? That is to get a little bit better every single day. That's one of the principles of success. If there's anything like, dude, if I was to like, this is the way I look at it, if I was to boil down all the complex advice out there into like 2 key principles that every successful person lives by, it's like every day you get up with two reasons to go about your day, right? It's one is you're going to become a little bit more valuable than you were the day before, and you're going to give a little bit more value today, right? You're going to, like, that's your intention. Your intention is to give more value and to become more valuable as a person. So the more value that you have, like, the more valuable you are, is the more, obviously, the more value you can give. And that's huge. So there's a Japanese term called Kaizen. Kaizen just means small incremental improvements, right? That leads to big results over time. So every day I want you to have your Kaizen time, your time devoted to you becoming a better version of yourself, whether that's through learning new things or developing a skill set that you need. Like, you really got to think strategically here. If there's a goal you're trying to accomplish, you want to Kaizen in the way that's going to help you reach that goal faster, whether it's a skill that you need or just a certain mindset or whatever it is. You're going to have time devoted to that, and you're also going to have your time where you're in service, where you're literally adding value to the lives of others, because you can't make money without giving value first, right? Exactly. You're going to make the equivalent of what you give. So before we move on, and like, Jordan, stop me if I'm rambling here, but is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, Statistic law too. The whole thing he just said is about giving value. Like if you give value to other people, you're guaranteed to become successful. When I
Okay.
first started off my marketing business, I would literally go to people and offer them free websites or free ad campaigns or free anything, free social media management to show them how much value I can give to them. And then afterwards, they're like, oh my God, you just made me 10 times more money. I want to hire you as my main marketer now. So if you're a coach, offer them a free 1 hour session and change their life in that session. I guarantee you they'll want to pay for you. If you do pictures, offer people free headshots. And by you doing that, you help them and they also want to tell their friends about you too.
Yeah, Jordan just stole the words right out of my mouth. So if you're sitting there like, how do I become, that version of myself that deserves what I want, right? This could be a law of its own. Really, it should be. This is the
Yeah.
law. It's you got to give to get. Like that itself is one of the foundations of success. Like you got to give something. You got to get something in return. You can't get something from nothing. So always start with giving. Ask yourself, in different situations in your life, how can I provide value here? How can I provide value here? One, and again, here's a practical step for you to go. If this is something that you want to work on, maybe give money to somebody today. Like that's not only going to, like, that's two birds with one stone, because it's going to train your abundance muscles, right? You're going to find money is easier to make after that. But you're giving to other people, and that's incredibly valuable. Or give your service for free, right? Like Jordan said, like if there's something that you sell, put it out there for free, right? That's huge. There's a quick story that I wanted to tell that kind of demonstrates how well this is. One of my coaches, Matthew, when I started working with him, I had no intention of working with Matt. So it's funny. I hopped on a call with this guy, and at first I was like, I was not trying to be sold by this guy. I thought it was a networking call. It was miscommunication, and so we got on this call, and it was a free value session. So he found out that I had no intention of buying. He goes, "Okay, that's cool. I told you I would give you a free value session. So let's go for it. Ask me anything you want. We'll do it anyway." And I was so thrown back by that, because that's not something you see a lot. Everybody's like, take. If I'm not making money, then why should I give this person my time? That's a terrible mindset. Matthew didn't do that. What Matthew did was he gave me his time anyway, like regardless of the outcome, just detached from the outcome altogether. And he placed more value on giving first. And what that did was trigger reciprocity, which is a real influence trigger. And what ended up happening was, by the end of that phone call, I was so impressed by the value that he gave to me that I ended up working with him. Okay. And so this can work in your favor. Like, this is something that you can start doing with people as well. Always be thinking, just have that mindset of, I'm going to give to people and expect nothing in return. And have the conviction that by giving and not wanting anything in return, you will always get something in return anyway, whether it's right away or it's a little bit down the line.
Oh yeah. What you give, what you get back tenfold. So you give out positive energy, give out abundance, and give out value. You won't start seeing it. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but it's gonna happen. You gotta stick with it, be consistent. And that kind of, settles my next point. Think we can go to the next law number 3, or myth number 3 in the law?
Sure. So myth number 3 is that success is routine. You need to plan everything. Like, you'll see those guys that have like movie script days where everything's just written out morning till night. And that success is about repetitive habits. And there is some truth to that, so we'll get into that. But yeah, that's definitely a myth. A lot of people misinterpret this. Here's the law. The law number 3 of success is that all evolution is caused by variation. Okay. So if you're doing the same things every single day, the same repetitive habits, you're not getting any variation. And you can't evolve that way. If you think, even like whether or not you believe in evolution is irrelevant, because if you think about self-evolution, it only happens when you experience things that you hadn't experienced before, right? Even like the whole concept of evolution is based on the idea that, through our changing environment, we were able to evolve, certain traits, certain just to be able to survive the conditions. Okay. So all evolution is caused by variation.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not getting any variation in your life, can you see how that's holding you back from becoming the version of yourself that you need to be?
Without a doubt, like for me, like when I started off my whole journey, like I would literally try and make a clothing line. I started doing marketing, and the marketing grew from me making books, making YouTube videos, and then that grew to me having a whole agency where I have a variation of different things that I do for people. It's content creation, it's pictures, it's AdWords, it's social media management, and that gave me a variation to grow and do more stuff to find out what I like to do the most, which is
Oh,
a huge
100%.
thing. Huh?
I said 100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing, you know, like I say, for you know, a lot of people out there, like even myself, who had that movie script schedule, like at 5 o'clock I'm waking up, at 5:05 I'm walking my dog, at 5:25 I'm meditating and working out. That does not work. You literally have to have like it broken down into like what are my main objectives for this day, what I want to do, and that is how we have it really broken down to our lives. Like I need to do 5 sales calls. I need to do this thing for my client. I need to do this X, Y, and Z as well. And by doing that, it lets us have more time and have more variation in our day.
Yeah, I love the way you put that. The only things I would add there, so for those of you wondering, like, you know, don't you need consistency to be successful? Like, yes. So when you find what works for you and you know that this is a habit that you need to develop in order to become successful, like a habit of setting the objective, like what Jordan said, or a habit of, you know, making sales calls, or these habits that you know are going to lead to long-term success.
Mm-hmm.
Be very like be committed to that. You know, success requires dedication. You can't just try something for a little bit and then give up on that, try something new. That's not what we mean when we talk about variation. What we're talking about is having that ability to do something new or different in your life, or go about things different ways, because that's the only way that you can basically embrace your own binary opposites. So if you think, like, we all have binary opposites. We have things we agree with and disagree with, things that we stand for and believe in, things that we stand against, things that we like, things that we dislike. Right? These are our binary opposites. And when you start embracing your binary opposites and you start, you know, leaning in that direction, a direction you wouldn't expect yourself to take, you find out new things about yourself. You literally become a new version of yourself every time. Right? Anytime where you did something brand new that you never did before, it had an effect on you. Like, you weren't the same person after that. And so we need that variation. If you're not getting any of that, if you stay at home and you're working on your business every day, doing the same exact things, you're not getting the variation that you need. And that's why you haven't had money yet, because you're not the kind of person that attracts money.
Definitely.
And just to share, like, so everybody knows who Albert Einstein is. A couple of like Einstein quotes that you can kind of ponder and see how this is relevant. You know, I think Einstein said it's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Yeah.
Right? There's another one. You can't solve a problem with the same thinking that created it. Right? So when I hear quotes like, yeah. So it really kind of gives you some insight into, you know, the way that we need that variation in order to you know, expand our minds and, you know, open up these new avenues of thought that it's going to allow us to become more creative in our lives and reach the levels of success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this gives like one more practical tip for them, or maybe two more maybe they can use right now to make that happen for them. And if my first one would be like, you know, is just go out there and try new things. Be like a mad scientist in what you're doing. And I got that from Sam Evans as well. Like one of the YouTube videos about being a mad scientist. Just trying new stuff all the time and see what works best for you. You know, what's good for me and Damon may not be good for you. So try out what is best for you and just do it all the time. Maybe your sales calls are a little different. Maybe you want to do emails. Maybe you want to do in-person meetings. Try each one of those and see what works best for you so it works out.
Yeah, I really like what you say about looking at yourself as a scientist. Like, see yourself as a scientist, and life is your laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
So think about all the experiments that you're able to conduct in your life and just be able to notice the results. Like, that's how people, I mean, that's how you become someone that's an innovator. That's how you kind of figure out how to basically optimize the things in your life to go your way. Is like, you've tried this, you've tried that, you know what works best for you. And you can only do that by starting to see life as your personal laboratory where you can experiment with these different things. So I really like that. In fact, I think I'm going to use that more often.
It's
Myself, I like
definitely
that.
life-changing.
So what else? Yeah. So take Jordan's advice. Try something brand new. That's the action step I'm going to give you. Is what I want you to do is basically write down 3 things you love and 3 things you hate. 3 things that you can spend every day doing, and 3 things that you like would hate to have to do every day, or things that you would never see yourself doing. And see if you like one of those things on the right side there. Like, see if you can do one of those things in the next week. Do something that you've never done before in order to not like just to experience that variation, and also ingrain it in your mind that you do need more variation, because like your brain remembers things a lot faster if it's had some kind of experiential learning. So if you learn something on this webinar and you don't use it, what's going to happen is you're going to forget it like a few days later.
Yeah.
It's not going to stay. So, but if you can go and apply this, like that positive feedback is it's going to become ingrained in your brain. Like it's going to be very difficult for you to forget after that. So I recommend you really take action on some of the stuff we're telling you here. And yeah, do something new. Like as simple as that. We're giving you lots of ideas throughout this webinar, so you can take any one of these things.
To do what's best for you. Like you're saying, if you do not apply action, it doesn't matter if you're holding your hands through the whole process, or if you have the most successful person in the whole entire world walking through steps. If you don't take action, it's not going to happen. But if you take action, we can guarantee you that you become super successful way faster than I thought was imaginable if you just do that one simple task.
Yeah. And that's where consistency does come in for you. Because if you find that one task and you do it, well, like remember, it's a feedback cycle. So the more you do it, the more it reinforces positive feedback. It becomes a cycle until it becomes working in your favor. Yeah, I mean that's when you really want that consistency. But yeah, I don't have anything else to add to that. I did skip over a law though, because we jumped right to law 4. You may have noticed that. So we'll go back one, right? But these definitely tie in together. So again, the myth here, the myth that we just discussed was, the fact that you need routine. The next myth is that success has to be planned, right? We mentioned like, the movie script days where they got like, and that I'm speaking from experience because that was me for a long time.
Same.
And what would happen is I felt more productive when I was doing that. Like I felt like a sense of satisfaction, like I was getting lots of done. But here's the thing, the results didn't show for it. So when I had
was productiveness.
Yeah, I like that. For example, like Dan Locke has this quote, busyness is another form of laziness. And what he means is that if you are constantly in activity, it's probably because you haven't taken the time to really sit and think about what needs to be happening that's going to move you forward, and the stuff that's not helping you at all. So when you have those, like if you have a day where you're working morning till night, half the shit that you're doing probably isn't really necessary. All you're doing is distracting yourself from your real purpose. And when I was doing that, I felt productive, but I wasn't getting any results at all from that.
The spinning the wheels. I'm the same way, I first started off, I used to work like 16, 18-hour days. And I felt productive, but I was running the place. I was doing nothing of true value. And now, I've learned that it only takes 4 hours of real, focused, deep work for us to become super successful in one day. I read this book not that long ago about productivity. And they're talking about how humans are designed to work no more than 4 hours a day. After that, everything we do is like half-assed and like not as intentional as it should be. So what I will do now is like just focus on what you need to do within those 4 hours and then ignore everything else for a while and then come back to it afterwards as like a leisure time thing.
Yeah, I like that. So what's the law here that we're telling them? What's the skill that they should be developing?
The law here is the more you prepare, the more successful you're gonna be. Because the more prepared we are, the luckier we get. That's the biggest flaw for this aspect. Become super prepared. Know what you like I did say a little bit ago is have down the most important task of that day and be prepared for that.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
Most people have heard that. Sorry, dude. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. So it's like on sales calls, if you're trying to book a new client and you're not prepared for it, it's not gonna happen. Cause you're like stumbling around trying to think what to say next. Like even this phone call right now, webinar we have, you have it planned out on each law you want to hit and how you want to do this. So we're super prepared to give you the most value. But doing it, it's way more easier and attainable for you guys to follow along.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna add there too. Like a lot of people have heard the quote, you know, success is when preparation meets opportunity. So prepare for your next opportunity. Very true. Here's a big problem I see, and I want to throw in a bonus law here because this is when you said preparation. I completely agree, but I think there's something else that a lot of people miss, and so this really ties into the myth of having to plan everything. I think one of the laws of success for me is presence, right? And so when you like a lot of people, they take this for granted, but they don't realize how important presence is to their success, because if you are not present, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities. The only way for you, like you want to prepare for your opportunities, but if you are always thinking into the future and the past and never really fully present and aware of what's going on right now, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities. You're not going to see them when they're there, or you're not going to be able to cultivate them effectively, right? And the ability to cultivate opportunities when they actually arrive requires a lot of presence. So here's a huge law of success, and I want you guys to start like practicing this as a skill in your life. It's a skill of presence, and I have lots of resources for this to help you guys do this. But it's all about becoming more present, so you can actually become aware of what needs to happen in this moment. Like instead of thinking 20 steps ahead, just think about the step that you're taking right now. What needs to happen right now, and you're actually capable of responding to the moment better. You're able to respond to your body better, and it's going to work in your favor, not only in your communication, because business, a huge part of business is communication. So in social settings, the more present you are, the more presence you have, the more your presence is felt by others. So it works for you in that favor. And excuse me, but it also like you're going to be a happier and more aware version of yourself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Damon, you're like 1000% spot on. Like being present is probably, honestly, probably the biggest law we can give you. Once you're present and intentional all the time, everything else becomes way easier. You're happier, you're more productive, and everything works way better for you. And like the secret to life, if you want to say, even is being present, because the past is gone, the future's not here. And if you focus on that, Zhao Sun said before that if you're anxious, you're living in the future. And if you're depressed, living in the past. So you want to be happy, you gotta embody right now in this very moment. You know, I grew up playing martial arts, and if you kind of think about the next move you want to do in martial arts, you're not gonna win the fight. And the same thing is true for business and for dating, for everything else. The best things in life happen right now. You're just in the moment, going through the motions.
Yeah, because that's all life is. Life is right now. So if this is something you guys want to work on, read the book Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. One of the things that he talks about in the book is just everything you think is life is really just your life situation. So anytime you're thinking of something that has already happened, or you're anticipating something that hasn't happened yet, even if your mind is focused on something like 3 seconds ago or 3 seconds from now, even that is not fully present. Full presence is awareness down to the very second of what's happening. And you mentioned martial arts, which is a fantastic way to develop that that state of fluidity, that state of flow. And that's what presence gives you. And so when you're projecting yourself outwards, to the future or the past, that's not really life. That's a life situation. All that is a projection of your mind. Life itself, reality, is only happening right now, because this is what you're experiencing right now. And so success is not in the future for you. Success is literally right now. like whoever you are right now is, that's your destiny right now. If you can change who you are now, your destiny changes.
Exactly. It's gotta claim it. It's gotta claim it.
Mm. So I'll give you guys an example of when this is going to be important to remember. Because in my own life, what would happen is when I had those movie script days, let's say halfway through the day I get kind of tired and I miss a couple things or I'm falling behind, I would get really in my head about it because I'm like, oh, like I need to do this and I really don't want to do it. And I start getting really overwhelmed. All of a sudden, all of my presence has completely gone. I'm not present to the moment anymore because I am literally lost in activity, and I'm lost in my own head, like projecting myself into the future, into the past, things that I can't control anymore because they're outside of the present moment. And when that would happen, all that really happened was I became more overwhelmed. The more I tried to think about what I should be doing, the more I tried to strategize and plan in these moments, the more overwhelmed I felt, and nothing ended up getting done. And so tell me, if I'm feeling overwhelmed because I'm not present and because I'm thinking about other things, am I the version of myself that is capable of making lots of money and being successful?
Definitely. I'll be present for it.
Exactly. So how is all that thinking going to help you at all? Like we think in the moment, well, that's the problem, is that we're thinking, but we think in the moment that more thinking is going to solve the problem. But thinking is what got you there, right?
Yeah.
So to solve the problem, you need to stop thinking. The thinking's not going to help you. First, as Eckhart Tolle would put it, you can't be what you want or accomplish what you want coming from that place anyway. So first, just fuck it, right? Like, excuse my language, just fuck it. Work on you, like get back grounded into yourself first, and just say, like, screw everything else for now, everything I think I should be doing, screw all the shoulds, and let's just be me and get myself to a place where I can start dominating again from that better version of myself, right? That's going to be a way more effective strategy for you. So in those moments when you feel like you're lost in activity, I want you to just let go of it all and just become present and meditate instead. Meditation is huge.
Huge. And that kind of brings me to my next point of the practical advice I can give you is, this is a variation. You can meditate, you can do martial arts, you can draw, you can write, you can read. Whatever helps you be in the moment, that is what you should be doing. And back to Albert Einstein, he said, what you are meant to do in life is a thing you can do and lose track of time. If you are talking to a girl you like, time just stops. And you can talk to her forever and ever, and nothing will happen to you. Find stuff like that. And the best tip I can give you to do that is ask yourself 3 questions. What do you love to do? What are you good at? And what does the world value? You have those 3 questions down pat, and you know what you want to do. Being present is way easier. Like for me, I love helping people. I'm good at doing marketing, and the world values marketing. So that's what I do. I know it helps me be in my moment right now and then.
I just want to add, those 3 questions are completely genius. And you should repeat those for anybody that may have missed that.
Yeah, yes, definitely. So in life, if you want to be present and actually love what we're doing, find our passion or purpose in life, you need to ask ourselves these 3 simple questions. What do we love to do? Because it all starts with us. What do we love to do? And number 2, what do we like to do? What are we good at? What kind of stuff are we able to do better than anybody else, or at least better than most people? And number 3 is, what does the world value? Like I said before, we are paid an equal proposition of the world values. So those 3 things down pat, we're way more active to be successful and to be in the present moment. And if you don't know what you love to do, or what you're good at, or the world values, write down 5 things for each category. I'm good at singing, I'm good at dancing, I'm good at doing marketing, I'm good at helping people, I'm good at listening. Or I love to do artwork, I love to do writing books, I love to do phone calls, do marketing. And then you ask yourself 5 questions for what the world values as well. The world values inspiration or motivation, or it values marketing or sales. And by doing that, you can see a correlation on what works best for you on each category. and go all in on that and be present and intentional while doing it.
I think that right there is worth the price of admission. I mean, yeah, like if you're someone that's like trying to figure out what your vision is, or you're trying to figure out your quote unquote your mission in life, I would start with those questions. Like that's genius. And then when you come up with the answers, see how they connect to each other. See if you can draw any correlations between them. And that's when you're going to start really gaining insight into what direction you should head down. And that might not necessarily be what you do for the rest of your life, but the way it was put to me is like your life is like an onion. Okay, and so every time you go down one of those paths and you follow something that might be your purpose, or something, even again, we use the word purpose, but what we're referring to is things that you love doing or you feel a predisposition to, right? I think I used that word right. A predilection, right? Like you're pulled in a certain direction towards things as a human being. Follow that, right? Because even if that doesn't work out for you, that's a layer of the onion peeling off, and it gets you every single time a layer of that onion peels off, you're getting closer to your core, right? Yep. But you need to have that experience first. Again, variation is important, right? And so I know we've spent a lot of time on this law, but one more thing I want to add on to this when it comes to presence is we're bombarded with the idea of like hustle. And when it comes to like, if you go online and you follow motivational quotes and inspirational quotes, it's like that word is thrown around constantly. It's like hustle, grind, entrepreneurs are up at 4 a.m. or whatever. It's like, you hear that, and then it's like normal people are like they're terrified of that because it's like,
right, they're crazy.
You're like, holy shit, like that sounds painful. And I'm here to like allay your fears, because that's not how you become successful at all, right? It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. Okay, exactly. And hard work alone will not make you successful. Believe me, and believe Jordan, because we have worked really, really, really hard and gotten nothing from it. But it was when we combined that with smart work, when the things that we were putting our focus on was, things that were actually, again, getting us closer. And we're also working in a way that sustains our energy over longer periods of time. It's smart work, not hard work. And here's a way I want you guys to like practice this. So if you are watching this and you feel like somebody that finds it really hard not to work or like not be productive, like you have to stay productive. If you're like I was, where going to see a movie with friends or like just chilling with the family is like really hard for you, I want you to do this exercise, okay? Because it's gonna suck. I want you to just see if you can take one day where you do nothing, where you just don't do anything at all, or call it your flow day. Like, in fact, I have a flow day one day a week, which is a day where there's nothing planned. It's just, I'm going to go, like, it doesn't mean I can't work. If I want to work, I'll work. If I don't want to work, I won't work. But it's a flow day. So there's nothing planned. It's just me responding to what I want to do in each moment. This is going to not only increase your skill of presence, but it's going to help you be okay with not constantly being productive in that hustle mindset. All right, so like take a day and just see how hard it is for yourself to sit still and just not do anything. Right, that's why a lot of people have a hard time meditating, because they find it impossible to be still and just not do. But this is gonna be really beneficial for your success in the long run if you can do this. Is just take that day. I did like, I call it like an austerity cleanse, which is where I did like a week of like literally I didn't let myself do anything. I didn't let myself eat for enjoyment. I would only eat like healthy stuff. No TV, no video games, like no cell phone, nothing. And this is like an extreme example. I'm not saying you guys have to do this at all, okay? I did it because I wanted to see, if I could just still be happy and abundant, even with nothing. And what I proved to myself was that, by the way, I felt really, really happy while I was doing this, because I realized, and it reinforced to me really, that I need nothing external for me to feel satisfied or happy, and that I could literally be doing nothing and still be okay. And once you realize that, success becomes easier for you because you're working from a place of inspiration now. It's not a place of desperation.
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
Super, so important and so huge. Like, I hope y'all got what he just said. Damon made a huge point on actually taking time out of your day or your week just to be there. And this will sound super sappy or corny, but like, it's realizing that you are more than enough right now in this very moment. Now you're more successful, or more accolades, or own a whole Bitcoin, or have the best girlfriend or boyfriend you want. You're more than enough right now in this very moment. That lets you realize you can't take the days off, take the time off to just be present and realize that everything you want right now is already happening for you. You gotta embrace it.
Yeah. And just to share a couple quotes about this to drive it home as well. John Lennon quote, life is what happens when you're too busy making other plans. All right. And a wise man named Jordan Suber once said, people are too busy building a life to actually live a life. I love that.
Thank you. That is super huge. Like, you gotta be, like, why are you doing it? I know a lot of entrepreneurs, who quit their job to be that solo entrepreneur and work 80 hours a week, to not work 40 hours at a different job. But, like, sure, you're doing what you want to do, but you're still a slave to yourself now. Instead, outsource and find employees and network with other people who are awesome, so you can live off your own terms and actually have the freedom to do it. That's why we all do entrepreneurship, for the freedom.
Yeah. So guys, just to wrap this up, remember, a law of success is trust, and having that trust becomes a lot harder if you're making things more complicated for yourself than they need to be. So it's very hard. Like, trust will get you success a lot faster than almost anything. And if you're somebody that is always thinking 20 steps ahead and trying to plan the whole process, if you're looking at like the end step when you're just starting and you're thinking 20 steps ahead, it's kind of hard to have that sense of trust. So my advice to somebody like that is the same advice I gave a fan that reached out to me a few weeks ago, who was like, I'm at the very beginning of my journey, and I feel very overwhelmed. I know I got a long road ahead of me. What do I do? I just feel really overwhelmed. And what I told them was like, well, how do you eat an elephant? You take one big chunk out of that motherfucker at a time. You don't try and eat it all in one meal, in one sitting.
Yeah.
Right? You want just take one big chunk of it a day. Or as Stephen Covey puts it in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, if you're on a road trip from destination A to destination B, and you're like just leaving destination A thinking about what am I going to do when I hit destination B? Like, what road do I turn on? And all this, and you haven't even left like the driveway. It's like, no, dude, think about like the turn right ahead first. Think about the step right in front of you. All right, so just think one step at a time. Think about the step you need to take first, but don't worry about the other steps. Like, take the first step first.
Exactly. And this is like finished off as being a super long law, but it's so important, It's doing smart goals. If you don't know what that is, go look it up. But right now, Damon, how about you sell the next myth number 5, and I'll say the law. You can kind of wrap it all up together so have good action steps for it.
I would say the myth is that success requires willpower more than environment, and that you need everything. There's a couple myths here. So one myth is that everything needs to be perfect and excellent for you to succeed. And we talk about taking smart action. So if you're sitting there thinking like, if you think smart action means perfect action, no, okay? Smart action does not mean perfect action. In fact, if you're trying to take perfect action, you're gonna fail. That's what kept me stuck for literally like a year. I was stuck because I'm a perfectionist by nature, and I was trying to take perfect action. But you got to let go of needing to perfect everything. If you're a perfectionist, you need to drop that habit and just start taking messy action. So I'll let Jordan get to the final law of success here.
I have the same exact problem. I'm definitely a perfectionist as well. And the law that helped me the most, number 5, is taking nonstop action and falling in love with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, well said.
So once we do that, it becomes way easier. If all 4 laws we just gave you is useless if you don't do this law. If you're not taking action, it doesn't matter if you know your passion, you're present, or if you know how to give value. It doesn't matter if you actually don't apply action to it with all that other laws. This one maps it all up together in the same practical action steps for you.
Yeah. And that's why we're giving them to you, because you can leave this webinar thinking, wow, I sure hope I remember that. Or you can leave and be like, that was some pretty valuable stuff. What can I do right away to ingrain
Mm-hmm.
stuff that I think is really important for me right now? Right, the laws that I know need to be applied to my life as soon as possible for this to become an ingrained habit in me. Yeah, Jordan's right. The number one law of success is action. It's like if you've read The Secret, or like if you know about the law of attraction, which states, whatever you put your focus on, you begin to attract. That only works if it's coupled with action. You can't think your way into a new life. You have to actually take action on this stuff. That's a quote that I love is that it's easier to act your way into a new way of thinking than it is to think your way into a new way of acting. Or, I mean, you can like variate that. It's easier to act your way into a new way of being than to think your way there, right? Like whatever you want to be more of, instead of just sitting there every day with affirmations in hand, how about go and start acting like that person that you want to be, right? Act out that affirmation. Give your brain the experience, give it like the reference experience that this is a part of you now, and then it starts to believe it once it sees you doing it. Because if you're reading affirmations and not taking action, your brain's not going to believe you. It's going to be like, you're going to read an affirmation. Your brain's like, no, you're not. You're not that. Like you don't act like that in your daily life. I don't believe that. You're smarter than that. So you have to show your brain that you really are becoming this person in order for it to work.
Yeah. And before I left college to do my entrepreneurship for 100%, I was a psychology major. And we learned a thing called neuroplasticity. And our brain literally grows and evolves a whole lifespan. But it happens through action. So talking about it makes it grow a little bit, but if we're actually doing it, our brain will already make new connections and grow. So Damon was saying is so true. If you want to be better at sales calls, book more sales calls. If you can be better with girls, talk to more girls. But if you just think about it, it's never going to happen for you. For myself, for example, like 9 years ago, I tried meditating, believing in law of attraction, and reading spirituality books to become successful. Nothing happened. Nothing at all happened. I learned new stuff. But when I started making action, actually doing it every single day, that's when all those law of attractions and those spirituality books helped me. Because then they're like, okay, now the universe is responding to what I'm doing and saying, okay, now he's ready. He's actually doing it.
Just as a side note too, type yes in the chat box if you guys want to know how to retain 90% of the information that you learn. If you're like worried that you're going to forget a lot of this, let me know if you guys want like an easy hack just to remember more. I'll give that to you.
Yep, tonal learning. This is huge, guys. Definitely type it down, and I'll see it popping up.
Okay, all right, dope. So this is the SDT formula. It's not STD. Don't get it confused. All right, SDT. See it, do it, teach it. All right. When you learn something new and you want to make sure that this is something that you remember, and I love this too, by the way. You don't know something unless you actually live it. All right. Otherwise, if it's just knowledge that you don't actually use, you don't know it. Right? But if you want to know it, see it, do it, teach it. All right. So like we said, implement, take action, and then if you can teach it to somebody else, that's really going to drive it home. But the big thing here is that you do it.
And that's spot on. Like right now, like when I make YouTube videos, I'm teaching people how to do stuff, so I want it even better. Or when I'm in college, I had a 4.0 GPA. That's like I'm smart or I study hard. So I literally tutored kids to all my classes. Whatever class it was, I would tutor my peers in that class so I could see it, do it, and teach it. Now I retained all information. So at test time came, like, oh, I know this. I tell this kid how to do that.
Yeah. And speaking of action, one of my mentors is a funny way of of talking about this, where he talks about the people with like 10-hour morning routines, where it's like where their morning so I used to kind of be like this. You hear like all successful people, they have a morning ritual to go through. Some people, they take it so seriously that they're like every morning they're like, I got my affirmations, meditation, cold shower, journaling. I'm gonna I'm gonna go for a run. And it's like it takes them so long that it's like nighttime by the time they're done their morning routine.
Yeah.
So it's like don't be the guy with the 5-hour morning routine. The whole purpose of your morning routine is just to prep you, get you into the mindset, into the flow of you being able to dominate the actions that you need to take for the rest of the day. As long as you've accomplished that, that's all you need to do in your morning routine. right? Just set yourself up for success.
Yeah, without a doubt. And for me, like my morning routine now consists of drinking some water, walking my dog, doing a quick exercise, and I'm ready. I might read a book or write down my journal a little bit. For the most part, my main 4 goals of the day is super simple. I book sales calls. I will drive traffic by doing webinars or YouTube videos or making ads. I will get testimonials from people I already worked with before. And then I will improve myself and my business. Those are my 4 things I focus on every single day. Nothing else is all arbitrary.
Yeah.
Once you have that in mind, becoming successful is way easier because all you gotta focus on those 4 things, and you're guaranteed to have the action for it.
Do you think I should share with them maybe like a 10-minute morning routine that will literally blow your mind, and it's going to, like, this is going to give you everything you need to dominate the rest of your day? Should I share it?
Yeah, the people who are still on here, like, we think we owe you even more value for staying with us for so long. So definitely, Damon, set that awesome 10-minute morning routine for them.
Oh, totally. So as soon as you get up, you want to move, you want to breathe. So it doesn't matter how you do it. Again, like, it could just mean jumping up and down a little bit, or like going for like a short 5-minute walk or whatever, right? Just move and start breathing. Okay, that's how you're gonna get like the oxygen, and your brain starts to wake up. Then you're going to do 5 minutes of journaling. So write down 3 things you're grateful for, 3 outcome goals for the day, and 3 identity goals. This is what I journal. Right, I journal 3 things I'm grateful for, the 3 things I want to accomplish, and the 3 identity goals for that day. So who do I want to be today? Who am I? Again, success is about who you are, what you bring to the table. So that's what I journal. And once I've done that, once I've moved my body, I've got myself into that mindset, whatever I do from there, it's like I'm good, I'm golden, right? You want to jump into the frog. This is when you want to eat the frog. So by eating the frog, we mean do the most difficult task of the day, the thing you're not looking forward to. Do that first.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to be such a breeze after that. So that's when you can jump into, if you're a marketer, like maybe create content for the day, respond to. I wouldn't do anything that requires you to respond to people until later. But this is the time for you to really work on yourself and the growth of your company.
Definitely. And then, Damon, can you explain more for them what it means for the identity process? Like, there were 3 identity journal section. How will you do that? How will someone do that?
Yeah. So for today, for me, it was like today I want to be incredibly understanding and I want to listen well. So I knew I was going to have a lot of calls today. The call with you and the call with a client earlier today. I wanted to bring the version of myself to the table where I'm listening fully and I'm hearing what they're saying. I'm fully present. That's an identity goal for me. One is I'm going to be, I'm going to be like my most charismatic self today. I'm going to be more confident today. Anything I say or do today, I'm going to be self-assured about it, right? No hesitancy there. And then an identity goal, the 3rd identity goal could be, I'm going to be completely detached from the outcome and just totally focused on giving today.
That one's super nice. Yeah, I like that one a lot. And guys, definitely try that out. I can guarantee you doing those 3 journal exercises is going to take you to the next level. Guaranteed. Because, like, when you know what you're grateful for in life, it comes in more abundance. And when you are having those 3 main objectives, eating that frog in the morning, you're becoming better every single day, more step closer to your end goal. Because success in anything in life, a lot of little things add up over time, so it's huge, bigger than you ever can imagine. And then having the identity part is like telling yourself, I'm already a successful person now, and I'm chasing myself 10 years from now.
What do you think is the biggest thing that people watching should take action on in their lives right now? Like, what do you think would be, if you were to throw something out there?
That's a great question. So that's kind of segues to our next point is, what I do once a week is taking stock in my own life. I will ask myself, how do I feel emotionally, spiritually, financially, socially? physically. All those 5 main aspects of our life, add more if you want to even. And we rate ourselves from 1 to 10. So right now, let's say emotionally, I'm a 7. But how could I be a 9 or a 10? And when we do this, we'll become our own life coach. We write down saying, I could be happier if I spent more time relaxing, if I spent more time with my friends, or I spent more time just reading a good book, doing what I love. We put this coach our way to get to a higher level. And for me personally, I never say I'm a 10 at anything because we can always be improving. So I would say I'm a 9 this week at emotionally now. How can we be a 9.5 or 9.9? And keep raising the ball every single time, raising our standards. We do it for each aspect. Every single Sunday night, I do this. And by the end of the month, you can see where you came from. Maybe when you first started off, you were a 2 financially, no money. But now you're a 7 because you told yourself, if I made 5 more sales calls, if I made 3 more appointments, I went to 2 more networking events, I'll be more successful financially. That's
I like
probably one
that.
of the biggest things I can give you guys is literally taking stock in your own life and grading yourself like a game even. Like, how are you feeling right now? Scale from 1 to 10, and what can you do to fix that?
I have an idea as well. So if you do that exercise and you are like, how do I get those numbers up? I'm like, maybe I'm a 5 or a 6 out of 10 or worse. How do I become a 9?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What's the big thing that needs to change for you? Right? And this, in my opinion, is the big thing that most people are not taking action on. It's the first place to start. It's environment. I want to throw this out there because we don't have time to devote like a whole lot of this, but this really is a lot in and of itself, and that's having an environment that sets you up for success. When I said one of the big myths of success is that you need willpower and how important willpower is. Willpower isn't nearly as important as environment is because all of your motivation, all of that work ethic stems from having a positive fueling environment anyway. If you're in an environment like that, there's no need for willpower, right? You don't have to get yourself the discipline will be there if the environment is set up in your favor. An environment is one of the most important laws of success that there is. So if you're lacking, whether it's emotionally, physically, financially, in whatever area it is, how can you put yourself in an upgraded environment for that thing? So this is obvious. If it's physical, the environment would be being in the gym more or surrounding yourself with healthy, fit people. That's number one. If you if you're broke and you spent like a month around millionaires and you just hung out with millionaires every day for a month, I guarantee without them having to give you any money, you probably wouldn't be broke within those 30 days. And it's simply because just the energy that you're going to absorb just being around those people is huge. Like environment is, like I said, one of the number one things. So yeah, I mean, if there's anything you want to improve in your life, think about how you can improve your environment first, whether it's the people that you hang around, if you can hang around people that make more money, if that's your goal, or just setting up your environment in a way that inspires you and motivates you more. There's something called anchors in psychology. We call these anchors, things that have a subconscious effect on you, like a representation. So it could be a picture, it could be some kind of object that triggers an emotional response that you want in yourself. So I guarantee if you're not doing this strategically right now, it's being used on you. If you're not using this for yourself, it's always in effect, right? So if you're not using this for yourself, it's being used on you. So set everything up in your favor. Environment is that important. So that's one of the big things to take action on is.
Definitely. And to add 2 more points to it, is my environment, we are most like the 5 friends we have the most around us. Like you said, you have 5 broke friends. You're the 6th broke friend out of the group. Or if you're watching news that are all about drama and bad stuff, the same way. Same for books and videos. If you're consuming good books, that's who we will become while doing it. Or good videos like this, watching this webinar, you're consuming good content. It's positive, uplifting, and it gives you value, it makes you a better person. And then one more thing to add to the whole taking stock in your life that Damon actually taught me was doing also the inverse effects. So I told you to take stock in life, do 1 to 10, and have it what I need to do. But Damon told me last week, also add to that what you should not do. That's almost even easier. Actually, Damon, you want to talk about that real fast?
Yeah, so there's a principle called inversion. And if you don't know what inversion is, like I learned this from Charlie Munger, who's Warren Buffett's business partner. Charlie Munger is like the dude that, like, when Warren Buffett or somebody of his caliber has, wants advice, they go to Charlie Munger. Like, he's a pretty smart dude. And so one of his mind strategies is inversion. So when you have a question and you're struggling to come up with the answers to that question or to figure out a problem, you want to invert it. You want to, like, literally flip the question on its head. So an example is, like, if instead of asking yourself, what can I do to get better sleep at night? What would I do to get terrible sleep? Or, like, what should I avoid? And you come up with answers a lot easier that way. Okay, we'll avoid, like, eating right before bed, drinking right before bed, watching electronics or TV right before bed, and just avoid those things.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use inversion in so many scenarios in your life where it's going to be a lot easier for you to come up with the answers you're looking for.
Oh, yeah. So to kind of wrap this up, we gave you so much content and value in this webinar. Is how about we go back and forth real fast, hitting each law and then asking the final question. And that way, a little recap on what we just talked about.
Okay, so give me an example.
So the first law we covered today was, success is hard. That was the first myth we heard. And actually, we found out that success is super easy. Finding money is even easier. We're always in abundance.
Yeah. So abundance yeah, definitely.
And then law number two was
you don't get success. You don't arrive at success. You become successful first. You start there, and you attract it through the person that you become.
Exactly. And then law number three, we talked about, being present and being in the moment.
Right.
And if you watch this the whole time, you probably heard us say law number four first, number three. But being able to be present is huge. Once you're present, it becomes way easier.
And I think
law for us.
There was variation causes evolution.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally action, and we can kind of transition it into, because we didn't really talk about it, but how do you feel about embracing discomfort?
Oh, that is probably the biggest thing to do. That it forces us to level up.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I hated public speaking, but now I literally do that as a side income. I get paid to talk to people in big groups. And now it's so easy to me. I love doing it. I'm comfortable doing it. When we embrace the uncomfortable levels in our life, we raise our standard by doing that.
Yeah. That's one way for you guys to become the kind of person that deserves what you want, is to start embracing discomfort, because anything that we're not used to, like we talked about variation, right? You're going to feel uncomfortable doing anything that is different from what you're used to. And so when you start to try and embrace variation, you're going to be confronted with fear, right? You're going to feel uncomfortable doing it because you're not used to it. Your brain doesn't like things that require change. It wants to stay the same. And you have to kind of fight through that resistance. And you have to be okay with feeling uncomfortable sometimes, right? Success definitely requires that. Success doesn't have to be hard. If you see everything through that abundance mindset of, there is always more, then everything will be kind of easy for you, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to require a little bit of discomfort. So if you can practice that in your life, doing things that make you uncomfortable, it's one of the best practices to have. I think for anybody, it's one of the best practices for a human being to have. It makes you almost unstoppable. So what are some ways, go ahead. What are some ways that we can?
I was in without a doubt. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious what you think are some ways that we can, give them to start embracing discomfort right away. Like as soon as they get off of this webinar, what's something they can do?
Okay, cool. So I'll give you a few options, because you have a big group of people watching right now, maybe different industry, different businesses, or making a new business right now. The first one I would do, if you already have a business, is if you're uncomfortable doing sales calls, make that your main goal and make 5 sales calls and do it tomorrow, or even right now. After this webinar, go book some sales calls, even just giving out free value. if you had anything to sell right now, I would suggest talking to a girl or a guy. If you're a person who likes chicks, go talk to girls right now. The first one you see that you like, go say hi to her. Let's make a nice conversation. Or if you are hate doing videos even, make some videos online and just sell them live or do YouTube videos. By you doing that, it becomes way easier.
Yeah, I like that last one. If you're here because you run a business, it's important just to know, like, be up to date with the trends. One trend right now is video marketing is really taking over, and so it would be very beneficial for you to jump on this trend and build this skill as fast as you can. Skill of being on video. So if you feel uncomfortable on video, here's the action step that I recommend for you. Or I think everybody should do this. Get on camera for 5 minutes and just start talking on camera. Like, don't just stand there like with nothing to say. Get on camera and just free flow. Like, by the way, this video doesn't have to go anywhere. Nobody has to see this but you.
Yeah.
But get the exposure, get the feeling of being on camera, get that experience. You know, take your phone and just film yourself for 5 minutes, just talking about whatever you want to talk about, whatever comes to your mind. 5 minutes, and see if you can do that. Again, that's one of those things where you hear it, you might feel uncomfortable with that, you might not want to do that, but I promise you, like, the feeling you're gonna get if you face that discomfort and you just go and you do it anyway, you're gonna feel amazing after. You're gonna feel like you just kind of broke some chains there. Like, you're gonna feel free because you just did something that there was like that resistance there, and then you broke past that. And now you're a version of yourself that is literally enhanced. Like, you are an enhanced version of you that you were 10 minutes ago.
You just leveled up.
You leveled up, yeah.
Confidence is competence. So the more you do something, the easier it becomes. Like right now, Damon and I have been on this webinar call with you for over an hour now. But to give you more insight, my first video I ever made was 43 seconds long. 40 seconds long. And I thought it was an eternity. Like, oh my God, this is the longest thing ever. Like, it's never gonna end. But now I make a video for an hour long, don't even think about it. So the more you do, the easier it becomes. And that's why I said last time, your comfort level will raise, and you need to raise with it. So every time you do more stuff, start raising what you're doing after that to make it always uncomfortable for you.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? I'm going to give them like a 2-step formula just to do that right now. This is one thing to jump on camera and get that exposure right away for 5 minutes, but if that's all you do, you might not.
Yeah.
I want you to build a habit of this, essentially, a habit of being uncomfortable. So here is my advice. Take it or leave it. I think if you take it, you're going to thank me for it. I've done this in my, I did this for like a month and a half straight once. And again, I'm not asking you to do that. Just do this for a week. So here's the 2 things I want you to do to start embracing discomfort. One is to jump on camera. The second is to take a cold shower every morning for the next week. Dude, I don't care if you shower at night or in the morning. It doesn't matter either way. The next time you take a shower, turn that bitch to cold, all right, and stay under that water and try and stay as relaxed and calm as possible. There's a few reasons why this works really well, right? Other than the fact that you are training that muscle, being able to handle discomfort. But it's been scientifically proven that cold showers actually increase your ability to handle pressure. It increases your performance under tension, because when you have ice cold water running all over your body and you freeze up and it feels, your body goes into shock essentially, and you can stay relaxed under that tension. Like, nothing that life throws at you throughout the day is really going to have as big of an impact on you, because you're going to be able to handle that shit like a boss because you do cold showers every morning. Try this exercise out for a week. Just cold showers every day. And then come back and thank me for it later, because it's a phenomenal practice.
Yeah, you would definitely thank him for that. I've been doing hydrotherapy, which is a variation of that. It's hot water and cold water, like super cold at the end of my shower for like a minute.
Right.
And I've been doing it for like years now. And not only it makes you more able to handle adversity, but also have a lot of health benefits for it as well. Like, your skin's better, your lungs are better, and so forth. So definitely do that for a week, and promise you afterwards, everything you do from that point forward will be a little easier for you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. So Where should we take it from here? How do you want to wrap this up, Jordan?
Let's ask you guys, what is the one thing you plan on doing right now? You can comment below which law was the best for you, and what law or what action will you take right now after this webinar?
I like that. Yeah, so I know we kind of threw a lot at you guys here. This webinar has gone on for a while, so you're probably digesting a lot of this right now. Again, the most important thing is action. So if you're going to leave this webinar, the one question I want you guys to answer right now, type it in the chat box. What's the one step you're going to take now? Okay, what's the one step you're going to take now?
That's the biggest one. And then as a bonus, Dave and I think this could be so world-changing for you. We're making a huge course out of this. So if you want to be a part of our new tribe by making this webinar series even longer and get the better tips, go type 1 below or type in king or queen below to get us to message you personally to add you to our new list so we can have you be a part of a webinar series coming up forward.
Cameron says he's going to try the austerity cleanse. Good for you, man.
Hey, good job.
Yeah, so we're doing 3 webinars in order to basically promote this course, where we're going to be taking you from wherever you are now to the highest level of success that you can imagine for yourself, really helping you develop these traits, skills that you're going to need. There's no course out there like this, really, like that. You know, there's courses that'll give you the steps. There's courses that'll help you develop certain skills, certain mindsets. There's no course out there that helps you do all of that in like a proven, you know, blueprint, laid out system for you, where, you know, we're going to take you through it step by step. We're going to be there. We're going to hold you accountable and literally go through this transformation with you. And so I'm really looking forward to that. We've got a couple more webinars coming up where we're going to go over the skills of success. You know, this one, of course, was about the laws of success and the myths. We're going to talk about the actions, and we're going to talk about the skills in the upcoming webinars. So I look forward to seeing you guys on that as well. We'll keep you updated. We're going to be releasing content as well. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. Was there anything else?
That kind of covers it. Like, you guys are definitely in for an awesome treat. Dave and I have already been on before, so we've done the hard work, the blood, the tears, the sweat, to give you the knowledge we have now, help shorten your learning curve, so you'll guarantee success at a much faster rate than we went through it.
Oh yeah.
So definitely stay tuned. Thanks for joining us for our webinar. We have more coming up soon, so definitely follow us on social media to learn more about this.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I have nothing but admiration for you guys that stuck around. You guys are true action takers. You're ready to learn and implement, and I appreciate the fuck out of you guys for that. So, you know, stay connected, and we'll talk to you guys very soon.
See you at the top, guys.
And take action.
You got this.
Mm-hmm.